My first pre-season up here was hotter compared to Melbourne, but it was enjoyable. I guess I was a little bit nervous. I rocked up with 45 guys that I'd hardly met before. I guess it'd been a lot different considering I'd come from a group that I'd been around for so long and got to know a lot of the blokes, and you only had the odd one or two you had to meet. But yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but it was a good group to be a part of. They're all a lot of country guys who have had to travel, so they're always like going for lunch or breakfast, or always spending a lot of time with them, which was handy to meet them. The move was good for the family. Loz and the boys still stayed in Melbourne as Coop still had school to finish off, so they came up just after Christmas. So I had about a month and a half here, which was weird not seeing them. I got to go back a little bit and they come up, but I guess it helped me bond with the boys and mix with the boys because I was out for tea with them. I had a bit more flexibility with my timing to spend more time with the guys. Which probably made it easier, but as soon as they came up, they loved Brisbane. I guess the theme parks are only 45 minutes away. There's always something to do. There's beaches, and it's, with the weather, they're always outside having fun. So they really enjoyed the move and are loving it so far. Why I came up, I guess Fags he sort of said the kind of group they had. He said, yeah, they're a really good emerging group that are coming through. And he just said they need an old bugger to try and help them on field. He said he can give them a lot of direction, I guess, pre-game, post-game at half-time, but I guess that feedback during a game was something that they were missing from a couple of senior players. So, and I felt like I could still play. I still loved the game, and I guess it was a bit of an adventure for the family to bring him up here, and wrap that we did. Yeah, it was an interesting start. We're in a lot of games. We just couldn't find that little bit to get a win. The first game came against Hawthorn. The first win came against Hawthorn round 9. I think everything clicked for us that day. Hawthorn got off to a good start, but we were able to fight back and end up having a good 50-point win.
Huge win for the Brisbane Lions. Luke Hodge's first win as a Lion against his old side.
But what I think the area that we improved the most in was we're competitive in all probably 1 or 2 games for the year, which I think coming to the last quarter in the first 9 games we didn't win any, but we were within a goal or 2, which showed that we were really competitive, but we just lacked, I guess, a little bit of polish or a little bit of composure in some pretty important times in the game, where I think after that I think we won 3 or 4 games in the second half of the year, which showed that we'd improved as a group, but also in the pressure situations, we're able to do the team things and able to get a couple of wins. I guess the next phase for us moving forward next year is making sure that we're getting those closer games. I think we lost 5 or 6 games by under a goal. We need to make sure that we can win a bit more of those to put us close to the top 8. The traits that I love about this team is, I guess, it's the energy. You've got, especially I'm 34 years old, so you go out and you play against blokes, playing with blokes like Cam Rayner, you got Witherden out there, just blokes that are hungry for football and they want to get better, and it's infectious to be around. So we have got a younger list, but it's an emerging list, and I think it's a quality list as well, both on and off the field. So I think that's what I've loved about it, just being around a good bunch of guys. Yeah, I guess I had to be more patient. I guess when you're coming in at Hawthorn, I guess I knew how the place rolled and how it flowed, and I sort of knew what to expect here. I guess I had to sit back and just watch things unfold, which is not my natural style. But I guess to be a bit patient and to sit back and have a bit of a look, I sort of would throw a few options up early on, but mainly was just understanding how the place flowed, how the coaches went about it, how the players went about it, which was good to sit back and sort of see. This year my role was an assistant coach. My role this year was being a senior player, and that was about giving on-field feedback to the guys then and there. I guess when you've played for so long, you can kind of understand what's important to give feedback then and what you can sort of leave till afterwards. So yeah, there was some vision of me looking at a stoppage, but I guess it was because we spoke about the importance of a defensive 50 stoppage that week, and then the first one we got a goal kick against us. So I guess I just wanted to have a look at the vision, understand what we fell away with, and then I could give feedback to the blokes who were involved in it. And I guess the important feedback, I guess them getting it right then and there, so the next time in that quarter, they're not waiting till the next week to improve it, they can improve it right then and there. I guess the hopes for next year is about continuing to develop. As I said, we're in so many games this year, but I guess the next stage that the Lions have to take as a footy list and as a club is those close games, getting those wins. I think we had 5 wins this year, but we had 6 or 7 under a goal, and we had 10 under a couple goals. So that thing about in tight situations, we need to be more calm, need to be more composed, need to be more reliable to our teammates. And funnily enough, I reckon that's what will get us a few more closer wins, which I guess can push us up to hopefully around the top 8, which we haven't been for a long time.